Okay, let's take a look at how the thumb and fingers can be used in tandem to create multiple parts. This is a hallmark of playing fingerstyle jazz guitar, whether you're crafting a solo guitar arrangement and you want to, create something that has counterpoint or multiple parts, for example, a moving bass line underneath a melody, or simply playing a walking bass line with chords. One thing that we really need to develop is using the thumb both in tandem and independent from the fingers of the right hand. So one thing that I like to do is just simply play scales using a lower bass note that would be articulated with the thumb, and then a higher note articulated with the fingers of the right hand. A great way to practice this would be scales in tenths. In your example there in the handout, you have basically two implied chords there, a G major using a major 10th interval. And we'll finger that with a low G with the left hand and then the middle finger on the B. And then that will move into an A minor. So we just have a low A and then a C on the 5th fret G string. So those are both 10th intervals implying the sounds of a G major and an A minor chord. Now, the idea with this is you can do different permutations with the fingers against thumb, and then you can even turn it around with the thumb against fingers. So let me show you what I mean by that. In your first measure of your example there, you have eighth note rhythms with the fingers or the top melodic line while you keep this constant quarter note in the bass. So I think the easiest way to just do that is finger, put the thumb on autopilot, and then the eighth notes will be above that at the same time. So then you'll go middle, middle, index, middle, index. And it becomes almost like a circular type of feeling. A minor. And we're developing both the tandem concept as well as the independence concept. It's in tandem because we're playing two active parts at the same time, but it's also independent because we're playing one rhythm in the bass and another rhythm in the melody line. And if you look at the second measure, you can expand this concept to include triplets. So this is a slightly more challenging because now you'll be starting the stroke. So with the previous example using eighth notes, the pattern is M-I, M-I, M-I. When you use triplets or three notes to the beat, then you're going to be starting each the next triplet with a different finger. So for example, your first pattern will be M-I-M, and then the second triplet will be I-M-I, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a great example, it's a great exercise to use to develop this technique. So the second measure would just be, just start with 1/10 at first. M-I-M-I-M-I. Finally, we have like a 4-to-1 ratio with the third measure there. We have 16th notes in the melody against a quarter note bass line. So that would sound, you can use the same pattern as the eighth notes. You're just doubling up on that pattern. So it would be M-I-M-I-M-I-M-I. It's a great exercise to play all three of those measures together in tempo, because now your middle and index fingers will be subdividing the different rhythms. So let's take a look at that example and play the examples through in time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and...